The issue we are going to discuss is the circumstances under which police may establish probable cause based on the information provided by informants. We already discussed when the police are going to establish probable cause based on the information provided by informants. We have this issue of reliability because police informants oftentimes they are criminals themselves, or they have connections to the criminal world. So we cannot trust these people 100%. So to establish probable cause based on the information provided by police informants, we need to make sure the information provided by the informants is reliable. So the first important test, the first test we want to look at is this two-pronged test. This test actually now is no longer used, but we do need to understand what we mean by this two-pronged test. So this test is just for the determination whether police may establish probable cause based on information provided by police informant. So we have two prongs here. The first prong is we must have this reliable informant. How can we establish this reliability of an informant if the informant in the past provided information to the police, and if the information proved to be accurate, and then we can say this informant is a reliable informant. The second prong is the veracity of the information. How can we establish this veracity of the information? One way to establish this, to satisfy this prong, is if the informant could provide the basis of the knowledge, could indicate to the police the basis of his knowledge. For example, if this informant would tell the police on a particular day there would be a drug transaction that is going to take place, and then the police may inquire, how did you know this? And if the informant would say, I was actually in participation of the discussion of this drug transaction, or maybe the informant would say, I overheard this conversation, or maybe I overheard a telephone conversation, so on and so forth. So long as this informant could provide this basis of the information, and then that may satisfy this the veracity of the information prong. Why we require this two-pronged test? Simply because we do not trust these police informants that much, so we want to use this two-pronged test to determine whether this information provided by the informant is reliable information or not. So let's look at how we actually use this two-pronged test in this in a real case. The case is Draper versus United States. So in this case, police received this information from a reliable informant, and the informant was reliable because in the past he provided accurate information to the police. And of course, this informant, if you read the case carefully, you would notice this informant was actually a paid police informant. He gave the police information, police actually paid him. So in this particular case, this informant just told the police there was this a person by the name Draper. He actually went to Chicago to buy drugs, and then he would return to Denver by train either on September 8th or 9th, and of course with drugs. And the informant provided the detailed information of this Draper's physical description and also the clothing he would be wearing, and he also said Draper would carry this zippered bag, and then he tended to walk real fast. So based on this information, police went to the train station. On the first day, they did not see the person fitting the description, but on the second day, indeed, they saw this person fitting the description. Indeed, the person was carrying a zipper bag, and also the person was really walking very fast. So the police stopped the person and arrested him and conducted a search, and indeed, police found drugs on him. So of course, Draper was the defendant in the case, and then he was brought to trial, and he made a motion to suppress the evidence. Why he wanted to suppress the evidence? Because he said police did not have a probable cause to make the arrest. Why he argued police did not have a probable cause? Because he argued police failed this two-pronged test. Because we did say if the police wanted to establish probable cause based on information provided by an informant, they must satisfy this two-pronged test. We already indicated this informant was a reliable informant, so the first prong actually was satisfied. What was challenged was this second prong, this veracity of the information prong, because the informant did not provide the police with the basis of the knowledge. So that's why the defendant argued the police failed the second prong. So the defendant argued there was no probable cause, so this arrest was illegal arrest, and if the police made an illegal arrest, and then the evidence obtained could not be used. So that was the argument of the defendant. And then what was the ruling of the court? The court actually said the police had probable cause to make the arrest. The court said this second prong actually was satisfied because the police officers actually corroborated all the information provided by the informant. So what the court said was, even though the informant did not provide this basis of the knowledge, but this second prong could be satisfied by police officers' corroboration or verification of the information provided by the informant. We know in this case, let's look at the analysis of the court and why the court said this second prong could be satisfied by this police cooperation. The court indicated this probable cause. Actually, it is a matter of probability. In probable cause, we are not talking about absolute certainty. We already discussed probable cause is only a little bit more than 50% of certainty that the suspect has committed a crime. So probable cause is an issue of probability. The analysis of the court is this. The court said in Draper, this informant provided this detailed information, and then police actually verified all the information provided by the informant. The only thing the police could not verify was whether the defendant was carrying drugs. if we recall what happened in the case, we know the information said this defendant would come back to Denver either on September 8th or September 9th. And then, of course, indeed, this defendant returned by train to Denver on September 9th. So that information was verified. And then the police also verified the personal description and also the clothing the defendant was wearing, and also the defendant was carrying a zippered bag, and also the defendant was walking really fast. So all this information was verified by the police. The only thing police could not verify by their observation was whether there were drugs on the defendant or not. So, since we are talking about this probability, we need to understand the issue this way. Suppose if a person would give you information, maybe there are like 6 items of information, and if you can verify 5 out of 6 of these items of information are actually accurate. So what is the likelihood the last item of information is also accurate? We have to say the probability is high. The last item of information would also be accurate. So the court said that is basically what happened in Draper, even though this informant did not provide this basis of the knowledge, but the police verified all the information provided by the informant except whether the defendant was carrying drugs or not. But the court said because the police could verify the accuracy of all the information provided by the informant except this last one, so the probability was high that the informant's information was accurate. The defendant was actually also carrying drugs. So based on that, the court said in this case, police satisfied this two-pronged test. So the police had probable cause to make arrest. So this arrest would be legal. So the drugs obtained in the police search could be used as evidence against the defendant. So that is a case to demonstrate how to use this two-pronged test.